Hi everyone, it's Tracy and I'm here with this look for you today, and it's a smoky eye with a bronze twist. I'm not going to do too much talking in the intro because I explained so much in the actual video, so I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. If you want to know how to get this look. Okay, so today we're doing smoky eye. This is going to be the first of many, hopefully, that I put up on my channel. A lot of people seem to be intimidated by a smoky eye because they feel like it's difficult to do, but it's really not if you kind of know the basics of how to create. I have nothing on my face right now except for moisturizer, so you want to start off with a clean face. You don't want to put on your foundation and concealer yet because when you're working with a dark shadow, a lot of times you'll get fallout like right around here, and then you have to clean it up and start all over, so I just find it easier to put that on last. I do have on my eyeshadow base, and I'm using NYX's HD eyeshadow base right there. They're high definition eyeshadow base, which I really, really like. I can't recommend that enough. And under my shadows, I'm going to put like a little twist to it. You can do whatever you want. You can use this color, you can use whatever color you want. You don't have to use a base color. I'm going to use this bronze base color right here to give my shadow something to stick to. And I don't really know why I'm using this color, to be honest. I just kind of wanted to do something different. Like, instead of like having a black base, you can use a black base, you can use a silver base, you can use a white base, you can use really whatever base color you want. It's your eye, you know, it's your smoky eye. This particular one is by Hard Candy, and it's their Hot Smudge Pot, and it's in the color Brass Knuckles. And this particular one is by Hard Candy, and it's their Hot Smudge Pot, and it's in the color Brass Knuckles. And I'm using my 120 palette. This is the palette with the top that's black and on the bottom that's brown. I'm going to grab an eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to be taking this silver color right here. So it's the fourth one in. Pack that onto my eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to put that on my eyelid. And you're going to have to load your brush up a few times for this shadow, simply because it is, it's going to start sticking to that base, which is what you want it to do, so. Okay, so it should look like that. Another thing you might want to know is that when you're doing a smoky eye, a lot of times it looks like a hot mess until you're finished. Like, you kind of have to just work at it. And I promise you, like, if you stop in the middle and you're like, this looks terrible, this doesn't look like anything like it's supposed to look, that's okay, that's completely normal. A smoky eye looks pretty ridiculous until you're finished, but as you keep blending and layering the colors, it'll start to take shape, and then it'll start looking like a smoky eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this brush here, and this is actually a concealer brush. As you can see, it's flat, but I think I'm going to use it to put down the black color. So I'm just taking black from that palette, and gonna start closest to my lash line here. Well, okay, I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna use the flat side of the brush. So I'm gonna take it flat, I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna kind of drag the color downward towards my lash line. Can you see that? So I'm doing this motion with the flat side, and then take it with the point side and just kind of go up to create that V. You see? So it looks like a V. Okay, and when you're putting your shadow in your outer V, imagine there was a line. Imagine my bottom lash line kind of went straight up, okay? Imagine it going, like, continuing its way upward. You don't want to bring the shadow below that imaginary line that goes downward, because that will drag your eyes down, and you always want to kind of lift your eyes up. When I'm finished with that flat brush, I'm going to go in with, this is a crease brush, it's a blendy crease brush, and I'm just going to start to blend in that black, and this is going to take a while. If you can see the motion that I'm doing like small little round motions, then I'm dragging it up. So small round motions, dragging it up. You don't want to do this, you don't want to go this way, you don't want to only do circles upwards. Just you want to do a combination of many, many strokes to blend this out. So again, this could take a while. So I'm probably going to fast forward this part. As you can see right now, I have basically just started creating the shape that I wanted, and I did that by just blending kind of in circular motions and then feathering upwards. So I'm blending in circular motions and then blending upwards. You can also see that bronze that's underneath starting to peek through, and that's okay. I'm not done blending, so it's going to look messy. Like I said, it looks like a hot mess. And that's going to start to peek through, but that's okay because we'll kind of we'll redeposit some more of that color later. Right now we're just trying to blend the colors together and get them to mesh well. And these two are pretty extreme colors, like silver and black. Those are pretty opposite colors. Like silver is almost white. So if you can master the art of doing this, then you could probably do any color. Really, you could probably do like a light brown and a dark brown, or a, you know, a lighter purple and a light lavender and a dark plum color. Okay, so I'm still kind of working with the blending process right now, but what I wanted to say, another thing that I wanted to say, is when you have to redeposit color. Okay, so if you can see that, there's a little bit of streakiness kind of happening and a little bit of like bald spots. So let's say I needed to redeposit color. So I would dip this into the black, but I'm not going to put it exactly on that bald spot because I don't want a concentrated amount of black up here. I want the darkest to be near my lash line. So I would take the color and I would start by my lashes right here to put the color down because that's where I want it to be the darkest, and then just whatever is left on the brush, I would use that to kind of deposit in the areas where it's a little bit sparse. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, so we'll blend that out a little bit more. That's kind of just a good stopping point at the moment. Now what I want to do is I want to take a fluffy blending brush like this, and then I'm going to take a brown color. So I'm actually going to combine these two bottom ones. I'm going to take a little bit of this and then dab it in this and then dab it in that one more time. And then what I'm going to do with this is I am going to take it into my crease area, and I'm going to use this as a transition color. And so just take a little bit of that brown and go right in the crease, and you're going to blend out the harsh edges of that black, blocking it out. So there's a subtle amount of brown that's right on top of that black that blends the black out and fades it out a little bit. And it's also going to fade gradually into the highlight color that I'm going to use later. So this is kind of where that bronze undertone is going to complement the rest of the eye, because I'm using this brown right on top of it. So it should look like this. Now I'm going to go back in with the black, just a little bit of the black onto my crease blending brush. And I'm just kind of touching up the black because some of it does get faded out when you put in that brown. Oh, now I'm going to touch up that silver. So I'm going to take that same brush that we used for the silver, and I'm just going to touch up that area right there and make sure that it blends in with the black properly. So it should look somewhat like this. And this is good enough for me, but you can make it darker or lighter. You can bring the black in a little bit more. You can bring the black up a little bit more. You don't have to use that transition color if you don't want to. So that's kind of the fun in makeup, is you can kind of do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You know, it's fun. It should be fun and creative, and so you have the option of doing kind of whatever you want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that black with that pointy concealer brush, and I'm actually going to drag it down on my bottom lash line. I'm going to take that blending brush that I used with the brown and just go underneath it to kind of smoke it out a little bit and blend out the harsh edges. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with an eyeliner pencil. You want to go in with something kind of soft, like an eye codgel. I'm just using an Avon one because it's one of my favorite ones, and that's pretty soft. And I'm going to blend my waterline. So take a highlighting brush and go in with the highlight color. I'm going to be using the second color, white, right there. Put it on your brush and then tap off any excess, and then apply this as a highlight to put it in my inner tear duct. So I'm tapping it on like this, and then I'm dragging it in to blend in with the silver, and then up. Now if you have a smaller brush, grab a smaller brush and just kind of smudge it right there in the inner tear duct, like the bottom part of your tear duct. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same eyeliner pencil and I'm going to line my upper lash line. So just get really, really close, and it doesn't have to be super duper neat. This is why you want a soft sort of eyeliner, because you want to line it really close to the lash line. It doesn't have to be neat because we're going to blend it out. Just an angled brush like this looks like that. So you can see it's angled. And I'm going to smudge it into my lash line and then kind of drag it upward. I need a mirror to do this. So smudge kind of into my lashes and then drag it upward to blend it with the rest of the colors. So this would be the time to put on false lashes if you want to. And then put on mascara. I will put on mascara. I'm going to use Revlon's Growlicious mascara. So just load it up. Lots and lots of mascara, especially if you're not going to wear false lashes. Okay, so I put on 3 coats of mascara on my top lashes and then 2 coats on my bottom lashes, and now I'm going to do my brows. I'm not really a big fan of having like a strong brow with a strong eye, so I'm going to kind of go a little bit softer on my brow. I'm going to take this pencil, and this is by Almay, and instead of drawing it on, I'm going to grab a little bit on my angled brush that I used for my brows, and just kind of start filling in any sparse areas. So now I'm putting on my foundation, and I am using the Sally Hansen's Your Skin makeup in the color Mocha. I'm grabbing my stippling brush, and I'm using the back of my hand as a palette, so I put a little bit of foundation right there, and then I'm just going to start to buff it into my skin. Okay, so now I'm just dragging it down to my neck. You always want to take your foundation and buff it in. You don't want that obvious foundation line. It looks so bad. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I'm using MAC Select Moisture Cover. And now I'm just going to kind of powder my T-zone here. I'm not going to powder my whole face because, again, don't really want it to look too perfect. I just kind of want to powder the areas that we don't really want to be shiny. Now I'm going to go in with this blush here, and this is in Pecan. And I think I'm actually going to use it as kind of more of a contouring color. This is NYX's blush in Desert Rose. You've seen me use this before, and just apply this to the apples. So I'm going to line my lip with NYX's lip liner pencil in Coffee. So this is very close to my actual lip color. So just use whatever with NYX's color. This is NYX's lipstick in Thalia. To give it a little bit of shine, I'm going to go over it with, this is CoverGirl's Wet Slicks in Papaya Splash. And there it is. And the look is, so that's finished. It. This is the final look. A smoky eye with a bronze twist. If you do happen to do this look, please leave a comment down below or a video response showing me how you did it, because I would love to see how this comes out, or the colors that you use in your smoky eye. And that's all. Hope you guys have a good evening. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.